Yo, what is up, you guys? Apex Boom, welcome back to another live crop overview, this time for the New Balance X Aime Leon Dore 550s in the red colorway, which dropped on Shopify sites. But as you can see, I am obviously only going for kids because, like I always say, my rule is, well, actually, you guys know my rule is if it's not kids, concepts, and a few other sites, I won't go for it. I believe these also dropped on concepts, but I just said, screw it, I'm just going to go for kids anyways. So as you guys can see, I'm still sticking with the number one, I won't even say number one, but my main method of attack for right now, and that is just using one proxy for these kind of releases, especially kit releases. I have to use my proxy. It just all depends and varies on the release on whether I'll use, I'm sorry, not one proxy, one task, but it all just varies from what release it is, which will determine if I'll use one task with no proxy or two tasks with no proxies. And at the very most, three tasks with no proxies, but even then that's stretching it a little bit. But always 100% of the time, like with the exception of multiple items that will supposedly be dropping on kits, I always stick to one task only because that's just what works for me and I'm comfortable with that, and it gives me the opportunity to drop my delays a little bit lower. So instead of dropping them to 3500 milliseconds, I can drop them to 2600 milliseconds, which is what I usually do, and you guys already know that. So I did not know the scale of this drop, the magnitude, how much stock there was. All I know is I was just going to do my usual thing that I always do. And what's that? Try to generate CAPTCHA, solve it as quickly as possible, and check out ASAP. Because as you guys know, Shopify always sells out literally in seconds. So you have to be quick. Like, you have to be very, very punctual with these. There is little margin for error. Very, very little. So as you guys know, typical setup. Nothing's changed. Everything's the exact same. Starting my task 5 minutes beforehand with a 10,000 millisecond delay, and then a minute into the drop, I lowered a minute into the drop, I lowered my delays to 2,600 milliseconds, and I kept it like that. And as soon as it hit 10 a.m., I was ready, and it was go time. So then I started generating CAPTCHA. I solved it ASAP, as quickly as I could. Went through the checkout process. Started calculating taxes, submitting payment, then I was on processing payment. By then, I still was not excited. I was just like, okay, cool, processing payment. Let's see what happens now. So after a few seconds of being on processing payment, I got through and I hit appear. Now, these are looking pretty good on StockX right now. Things could change, but I hope they stay the way they are right now. But luckily, I was able to take one away from this release because that's all I really wanted was one pair. I never try to go for multiples on Shopify. Don't know why. Well, I take that back. With the exception of multiple sites, I never try to go for multiples on the same site on Shopify. Let me reiterate that. But yeah, you guys, how did you guys do this release? What could you improve on? What could you have done better? You know, it's all sorts of things that can happen, but never beat yourself up over a release. That's one thing you should never do, or be frustrated or nothing, because there are plenty of releases to go around, and there are plenty of W's to go around for everybody. But yeah, you guys, I will see you guys in the next video. Whenever you're watching this, please have a good night, day, evening, and I'll see you guys next time. Deuces.